Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy, and with me is Tom Nally from This is Tom's World.
How you
And
doing?
here, yeah, great to have, glad to have you. Before we get started, let me just double check, make sure this is airing on my Facebook page. Sometimes it doesn't. It just does this thing where it privatizes it, but it's like the audience selects only me when it should be public. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's weird. Very weird.
yeah. StreamYard gets a little weird when you're going to to like not private pages, but personal pages.
Right.
I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Yep. Oh,
Yep.
hey, hello, Brad. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yep. So, yeah, Nick. So, those of you wondering on Nick, who might be joining us soon, he's got something going on tonight, and yes, and so hopefully he'll be on. Like he said, maybe halfway through the show. Finally, doing a show on the best series ever. Yes. Hey, Leon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah. So, yeah, tonight we're covering some. Oh, hey, Billy. Yeah, tonight we are covering something that many of you have requested, and it's also something of a movie that I have been a fan of since I was little. And oh, here is Jill. Hey, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Hi.
Hey, hey, glad you can join us. Yeah.
Of course.
So, yes, because tonight we are covering a movie that is that I've treasured ever since I first saw it when I was about 7. I saw this yeah, I know. Or no, wait, actually, or sorry, no, it was 8. I was 8 when I saw this. Yeah, this is a
Came out when I
childhood
was
favorite.
15.
The year 1990. It's a Kevin Bacon film, Tremors, and yeah, this is like one of those movies that was not like very appreciated at first. Didn't really get as much praise as it should have. Because it like did poorly in the box office, but what really grabbed everybody's attention is the fact that Kevin Bacon starred in this.
And he was only in the one, right? Yeah.
He was in the first one, yes. But he's been he's been wanting to reprise the role like forever, but due to scheduling conflicts with the other movies, he wasn't able to.
And he's always in that band with his brother, and
oh yeah,
like
yeah. Hey DJ, good, thank you for joining us.
I remember him on Footloose. I love that one.
I remember that being in the movies too.
Oh yes, that's what sparked his fame, Footloose, and I remember in so many other movies, that along with Hollow Man, and here gained real traction once it started playing on TV all the time. Yes, that could have played a huge role in that.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel did wonders for that movie.
Oh yeah, bring on the bacon, the 6 degrees of bacon.
I can get to Kevin Bacon in just like a couple steps, actually.
Oh yeah,
just from myself to him, because I did a video on a Quaker meeting house that's local to here, and his family attended that Quaker meeting house, like his parents.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'd have been all giddy.
Oh, Billy does bring up a good point. There was supposed to be a TV show or like a movie where he reprises his role after almost 30 years, but it's like there was a trailer released, but it didn't get any further than that. The project just fell flat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a TV show based on this movie?
Yeah. I mean, there was a TV show back in 2003 that only lasted for 1 season, but Kevin Bacon wasn't part of that. But Michael Gross was as Burt Gummer. As Brad brought up, Burt became the real star of the series. That's true, Michael Gross.
Yeah.
And in this movie, this was like, in this movie, he was also with Reba McEntire, who played the wife, Heather.
And you never saw her again, did you?
No, she was like starting up a music career and like a TV show career. So yeah, she wasn't able to reprise her role. So they had her character divorce in the second film without ever seeing her.
Wow. I just saw Shrieker's Island a few days ago because I hadn't seen the newest version of Tremors. I liked it.
Yeah, that's the latest one. And oh man, tragic ending. But well, wait. Oh, Billy is talking about this movie Smile. What I covered on the podcast. I'm considering it. I want to see. I want to see it now because a lot of people have been saying great things about it. So I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try.
Oh, that's that one that they had everybody doing the creepy smiles for, and the random commercials, and
Yes.
I remember all those advertisements.
Let me see if I could do it.
Uh,
She's like creepy smiling. I
yeah,
can't do it.
I can't do it either. That's the thing. It's like meant to be like
Tom
impossible
got
to
it.
do, like unnaturally. Like this is probably like a smile that would match Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Yes, that's what it looks like.
Was Tremors supposed to be part of an anthology series of Tales from the Crypt, or was it something else? I believe what brought Tremors to life is the writer S.S. I think what was his name? I think it was S.S. Wilson. Yeah, he was the main screenwriter of this movie, and he was inspired to write this when he was like doing a job over in the California desert. He was like laying on top, and then when he was taking a break on a rock, he would look at the ground and thought, it'd be pretty crazy if there was something under the ground that would prevent me from getting off this rock. And that's what's inspired him to create something that he had several working titles for. It was first he was calling it Land Sharks, then he was calling it Beneath Perfection, but then he finally called it Tremors.
Land Shark.
Yeah,
sorry, old Saturday Night Live routine.
Oh yeah, even though these creatures in Tremors, the graboids, didn't even resemble sharks at all. In fact, they're supposed to be like these. Yeah, it's eventually discovered that these are prehistoric sandworms. That here, let me just put up a picture just to remind everybody. Here.
I think Dune, the worms in Dune.
Yeah, good. That's a fairly decent comparison.
Or Star Wars.
Or Beetlejuice. Sandworms.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, right.
And so this is what this is what you see at first in the movie is this creature that has snake-like, has like this has a mouth on it, but mouth full of sharp teeth, but only to find out that's not the graboid. That's only just one of its 3 tongues that it has. Yeah, here is what the graboid. Here, hold on, let me pull it up here. Here it is. That's what the graboid looks like when they fully reveal it. About like half hour into the movie.
Look at that tongue.
Oh yeah, it has 3 of them. 3 tongues that come out of that it uses to grab its prey, hook onto them, and then bring them under.
It looks like tentacles on an octopus.
It kind of does. That's
the real life Squidward.
Yeah.
Speaking
Look
of
at
Squidward,
that feller.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Squidward, I believe that there was one episode of SpongeBob that was kind of somewhat parodying Tremors, with the one with the Alaskan bullworm. When I think back to that one line when SpongeBob told Sandy, "That's not the worm, that's its tongue." Pretty much. Yeah. So, oh man, yeah. Like I think these could partially be inspired by the worms from Dune.
Yeah.
That could be.
They look a lot like them.
S.S.
Well,
Wilson
in the first one,
the first Dune.
The first,
like,
Dune,
well,
yeah,
no, in the first Tremors, they resembled them more, but then they started to evolve a little bit in the series as it went on.
Oh yes,
if you recall, like they eventually start flying and stuff. And
that's right. The graboids would eventually evolve into these other types. Like, let me see. Here, I got one picture here. Like when they evolve and they have these three creatures that come out of them, like when they eat enough food, and they metamorphose not into something underground, but as something that walks on land. These bipedal creatures called shriekers that hunt by sensing heat and go after you with its powerful jaws, and make a screeching noise to alert the others that they
They're
found
like
food.
raptors. They're like the raptors on Jurassic.
Yeah, they got the feet like the raptors from Jurassic Park.
Yoshi.
And or Yoshi.
So
either
cute.
one.
It's so cute.
And finally,
I can't get that high pitch anymore.
Yeah, but we're finally evolving into having the ability to fly. These creatures called the ass blasters.
Yeah, that's how they. I forgot about that. That's how they get up in the air. They fart fire.
Ass blasters.
They fart fire and it blows them up into the air, and then they glide.
And then they use these wings, and these wings to glide.
Oh.
And they can detect heat just like shriekers. So this series took some pretty crazy directions as it went on.
Wow.
And shame to see that Kevin Bacon didn't play a part in the rest of it. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should have done like a bit part in the, which one was that, the third or the fifth one where they showed it like when it started back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
That Tremors 4, that was meant to be like a prequel, like explaining the origins of how the
Right.
Graboids ended up in Perfection, Nevada. And yeah, that's the thing. This
Yes.
this movie, yeah, that's the thing. The movie Tremors takes place in like a very like deserted, like, well, not deserted. It takes place in like a very rural, in the middle of nowhere setting, like this place that could only barely be considered a town called Perfection, Nevada, with a population of only 14 people. At least that's what the sign says.
Less now.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, a lot less now. And this town could only be like, basically the whole town area is just like one block, like it's just one block, and all that's within that block is a grocery store. Let's see, a couple of houses and a couple of trailers and a water tower, and that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's like, imagine growing up in a place like that. I mean, man, like way out in the middle of nowhere like that. That's wow, completely different from what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Have you been to or have you lived in states like that? Because Arizona's like that a lot.
Oh yeah, a lot of Arizona, a lot of Nevada is like that.
Mhm.
Certain parts of California, it depends on where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that I'm not saying I dislike small towns. I mean, my university, Western Kentucky University, was in a town,
Mm-hmm.
Bowling Green, and it's gotten pretty big since I left. Yeah, SpongeBob means Tremors.
Yes, he was.
By the way, oh yeah,
Stampede.
yeah. At the very beginning, when when they're facing that cliff, oh man, yeah. Like, I just love the humor in this, and I just love how Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward, they like when they come up with like decisions, like try to figure out what to do next, or who should do what. They just resolve it with rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
Which Earl, Fred Ward would win. And
He always wins.
Oh yeah, and it's a shame that Fred Ward, I believe he died in recent years.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a shame.
That sucks.
I have seen him in a few other movies. He was let's see, I think Jennifer Lopez's dad in the movie Enough, that thriller movie, and also he was in the Crow, the third Crow movie.
Mm.
So
I didn't see the third one.
I didn't see the second or the third one. I have no.
Oh, the Crow, yeah, the first one's the one that's really worth seeing.
Well, I have an attachment to that as well.
Mhm.
I may have mentioned before that the actress that played the young girl in that movie, Rochelle Davis, she's a friend of mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
But she won't come. I tried to get her to do online interviews. She won't do
I hear you. I know, like doing online stuff, not for everybody. So I can respect that in her case.
it.
Yeah.
Graboids look like something Umbrella cooked up. Well, this could be.
Yeah,
Umbrella-
yeah.
Yeah, the Umbrella Corporation, if they can make a bunch of zombies and mutants, and God only knows what else they'll do.
Well, the thing is, it's like it mutates. So there's like all these different monsters. And so even with the Tremors, they seem to evolve or mutate.
Yep.
Oh yeah. And now, speaking of Resident Evil, there have been a few people that want me to play that new DLC story for the Resident Evil 4 remake, Separate Ways. So, gonna play that, and then move on to this.
The Last of Us, the game. Huh?
One of my all-time favorite games. This is
It now. It started as a game, right? It wasn't a show first. Okay.
Yes, it
No.
started off as a video game. Yes, correct. Great game and a great series too.
Didn't watch that yet either.
You have to see it.
My ex game.
I like it too much.
You just take every opportunity you can to rip on her, don't you, Brad? Oh, and
I feel you, man. I feel you.
Oh man.
No comment.
Oh man. So basically the whole story of like Tremors, like it starts off with two characters, Val, played by Kevin Bacon, and Earl, played by Fred Ward, who are working as handymen in Perfection in the valley, in the small town in the surrounding area, doing odd jobs, and they just get really sick of the mundane jobs and like making an abysmal living in Perfection. And the nail in the coffin, what really made them want to leave town, to move on to a big city, is when they were working on a septic tank and the tank malfunctioned and started spraying them with its contents.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, you got a piece of corn on you, right?
Was that garbage day?
Yeah, it was like garbage day for them. They take care of everything. So then they want to leave town, but then they discover that several people are being killed, and the roads are blocked up. The road is blocked off, and they have to deal with these underground creatures that basically hunt by sound. Yeah, that's the thing. The graboids, they're completely blind. They hunt by sensing the vibrations in the ground. Like even a footstep is enough to draw them to you.
I think even your voice, because like on the Shriekers, it's like he was talking to it and having like a conversation in the sense that he's like, I know you're waiting for me. You've been waiting for me all this time.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there have been times where the characters had to try to get off the ground. Stand on top of a rock or a roof
Yep.
above the ground, and the graboids, they won't just move on. They'll wait there. Like they'll wait for days. Wait till you starve to death. Either one of two things: you either go back down to the ground so they can go after you again, or until you wait up there until you die from starvation, exposure, whatever, and then they decide, you know what, I need to move. I'm going to move on to something else. Yeah, so these things don't play around. They're no joke.
Yeah, they're intelligent.
Yes, they get smarter. They always do. Like they've gone to like disabling vehicles. They've gone to like just basically tearing down. Like they can tear down buildings right below in order to get people down to the ground. So yeah, these things really they learn quick.
Mm-hmm.
For going forward, starting with Tremors 2 Aftershocks. That's the thing. Next week I'm actually planning on covering the original Exorcist because the new movie's coming out a week from Friday. So I figured 50th anniversary, it would be, and the new movie coming out would be as good of a time as any to cover the Exorcist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, those trailers keep getting me each time. I'm like, oh my gosh, so creepy.
I know. The trailers these days they're becoming more and more bold. They're like actually throwing in some more disturbing content. Oh man, it's like they used to throw in a few things in trailers, but now they're just really going all out, man.
True.
And so the characters in this are like one of the best things about this movie. Especially with Michael Gross and Reba McEntire playing the husband and wife survivalist couple who are gun enthusiasts who see themselves as being prepared for anything. Like
That's right. They got
they're prepared for
what are they, MREs they're called or whatever, the rations.
Yeah.
Field rations. Like yeah, he introduces that in the next movie, yes.
Yeah.
And but in this movie he's like Bert's like paranoid that oh man, like about literally anything, like if we're getting invaded by enemies or if he's like basically trying to prepare for World War III. He explains that his house is had like a bomb shelter and a supply of water and enough food for 5 years, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
I also like that, even though he's not in it for the whole movie, that one guy, Victor Wong, is in it. The Victor Wong is in it.
Who plays Walter?
Was that his name?
His name was Walter Chang. He was the owner of the grocery store. Yes.
Yeah.
Who came up with yes. He came up with the name Graboids.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
And that's what they did.
Yeah.
They grabbed him.
And then he got grabbed.
Yeah. I mean, I've liked him in a lot of the movies he's done over the years. I mean, he was in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Golden Child.
Yes.
The Golden Child is my favorite, though.
Classic.
Yeah, I also loved Big Trouble in Little China because one of John Carpenter's best films.
Oh yeah,
it's a good one.
I love that movie too.
That is true. And Michael Gross was the dad in Family Ties.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he started it I'm making it big in TV. So then this becomes like one of the biggest roles that he's known for, playing Burt Gummer,
which is the exact opposite of the character he played on Family Ties.
Oh yeah.
Totally different.
That's right. He just like sees himself like being okay. I gotta be able to take on anything. I got my guns. I got my survival. And then he becomes the central character of the whole series.
Yeah, the only one that was in them all.
All of them.
And I just love the build up that they have, like the suspenseful build up before they finally just revealing bit by bit about what these characters are dealing with as far as the graboids. It's like there's the college student Rhonda, played by Finn Carter. She is like working with seismology, the study of underground, the study of earthquakes, and notices that her seismology, like what was it called, seismograph, who was like going apparently haywire, detecting like some heavy activity underground. And I'm just like, oh yeah, there's something going on under the ground, all right, but it's not an earthquake.
No.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Jill, when did you first see this movie?
What year did it come out? Probably then.
1990.
1990.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. So yeah, so it's impressive that I know some people who saw it when it came out, because apparently not many people went to see it, as I thought, because apparently it didn't do so well in the box office. Yeah, shame.
I was a movie buff even then. Like when when we had video stores, you can go rent videos. It was like we could get 5 or 7, and she let me get 2. My brother 2, she'd get a couple. And I was always like, "Can I get a horror movie?" She goes, "Get whatever you want." Oh man, I'd go crazy. I'd get like whatever horror movies I can
get. Get whatever you want. If only I had that. If only I had that luck.
Even Exorcist, it didn't matter what it was. She was just like, as long as you can go to sleep tonight.
There you go.
Whatever you want. And you see me go through that curtain in the back room.
I didn't have that store there.
Oh man. But yeah, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I also like that scene where it kind of introduces the graboid by having Rhonda like pack up equipment and go inside of her truck, and not knowing that there's something following her, like a POV shot, and it shows like a hump in the ground that's slowly moving, and I'm just like, I mean that maybe that's not very ominous. For all we know, it could just be a certain character who just didn't take that left turn at Albuquerque.
It's already in my head.
Oh man, I'm surprised that nobody ever made that joke. I never heard one person make that joke.
I have
from that scene. But yeah, they slowly introduced that, and they slowly introduced that the snake-like creature that turns out to be one of the graboid's tongues, and then you see, oh my god, this big thick creature that uses those 3 things turned out to be just their tongues. And not only that, there's also 4 of these things. 4 of these big graboids.
And the last one was the smartest of them.
So I forgot, were the big worms not like the little, creatures after it? Are they asexual, so they can just like make eggs or whatever they do?
Pretty much reproduce asexually. Yes, okay. I believe so.
Yeah, because that's just like what earthworms are like.
Yeah,
that's right.
That is true.
God made them and said, "Go F yourself," and they did.
Wow, man.
They said gladly.
Say, he does it better than me, man.
Yeah, but and then we find out in the sequel that these graboids are you never know where these things came from in the first film. Then it's revealed that these things turns out that they are from the pre-Cambrian era, meaning like in the Cambrian era, like the Cambrian explosion, where like all the earliest life forms have appeared. Apparently the graboids predate that, and the very first life form on the planet. I'm like, wow, that's quite a lot to buy. So they've been around way longer than dinosaurs and mankind.
Yeah, most of the time they just land on Earth like a Martian meteor or whatever meteor from the sky, and then it just wreaks havoc like on Men in Black, stuff like that.
Yeah, it could be.
Or just grows a bunch of plants around, when Stephen King comes in. And...
Yeah.
Meteor shit.
Yeah.
That's right. And yeah, and like what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like some of the one other name that stood out for me was Ariana Richards, who played a little girl named Mindy. Here, let me pull up that picture here.
She was on a ping pong, or that not ping pong, but the pong. What's that thing? Like you bounce up and down on it.
The pogo stick.
Pogo. I'm calling it ping pong.
It's okay. Yeah, so
pogo stick. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So little girl who like always bounces around a pogo stick. I mean, in a small, very, very small town like that, like in the middle of nowhere, you got to have some way to keep yourself occupied,
I think it's hard to use.
Oh yeah, And yeah, it can be hard to find to like on a kid, growing up
Yeah.
in an area like that. But then, and speaking of Ariana Richards, like not only was she in this movie, but 3 years later, she would get the role that she is mainly known for, and that is for playing Lex in Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Yep.
Another favorite.
Oh yeah, and let's see, I think I had another. What was that? Oh yeah, and in this movie is where she demonstrated to us why it is a terrible idea to shine a flashlight into a T-Rex's eye.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Seriously, I
made
can
the pupil
never.
dilate.
Yeah, seriously, I can never get over how dumb that was. It's like, okay, you got a carnivorous dinosaur just outside, and your best idea is to shine a light in its eyes. For what
Well, you can
possible?
blind it.
Yeah, for what possible reason would you do this?
I mean, that's
Like-
almost as dumb as having a porta potty sitting somewhere outside there and having somebody in it when.
Yeah.
Yeah, when that lawyer runs in there, oh man, yeah, that's another movie I love. Yeah, somewhere down the road we're going to cover Jurassic Park. Oh, Nick just messaged me. He's saying he just got home. He'll be on shortly.
Okay, Nick.
All right, sounds good, Nick.
Cool.
Just
I
remember
was
to
trying to
plug
think
in
of
your
something
laptop.
smart ass to say, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm off my game today.
Oh yeah. Oh, and here's what I absolutely love about this movie is that right here it shows the way that when they made these graboids, yeah, these things completely practical, animatronic, no CGI at all.
So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I just love I just love the effort that went into this.
I love any movie that does that. Like I'm not a fan of CGI because it's not perfected, and you can tell. If it were like seamless, and you weren't able to tell reality from computer generated, then sure. But you can always tell.
Mhm.
Well, there are times where it can be efficient. It's not. I mean, CGI is yes, for the most part, it does not work well, but there are some exceptions.
Yeah, well, when they combine the two, it
yeah.
works well.
Yeah,
Like,
not all
say in
CGI.
The Walking Dead, like there was a lot of practical effects and then some like computer generated splatters and stuff like that. And
oh yeah, CGI has been efficient when it comes to like some blood spatters and gore. Sometimes it's like it can be good if done right, but that's the trick to it.
Well, in Shriekers, it didn't look like CGI effects. It looked like a bunch of splattering the camera screen.
Yeah,
like actual blobs of it.
could have been.
Yeah, it could have been. Yes. Yeah, but as far as I know, in this movie, like I do know in the second film, they did use CGI for some of the Shriekers. Yeah, and they started using CGI for mostly the ass blasters in the third film were done with CGI.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it was definitely practical, like when they were on the ground and stuff, like close-ups or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh, here. There's screams when the T-Rex crashed through the top of the vehicle were real screams of terror because the T-Rex malfunctioned. Yes, that is true. That is absolutely right, Brad. Yeah.
Oh
It's
man.
like,
oops.
Oh man, yeah. First, the shark doesn't work well in Jaws, and now it's like, man, Spielberg and practical effects. Yeah, man.
He goes too far.
That's why the first Jurassic Park was a first success. It mostly, for the most part, it was practical effects. Yes, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's because they had excellent man in charge of it. When Stan Winston, he was one of the biggest practical effects artists of all time. He did the effects for not only that, but he also did the effects for Aliens. He did the effects for Predator, Terminator 1 and 2. Yeah,
Love it all.
He did. He yeah, like it's like back in 2008 he passed away, but leaving behind a big legacy when it came to practical effects. I mean, this guy was a pure genius. Yeah, I mean,
sorry,
it's all right.
We're having
it's been going in my head ever since you said it's Jurassic Park.
It's like, oh yeah, he. I was very impressed with the way he designed Predator. The what do they call that? Yautja. That's like this creature from Predator has a race name called Yautja or Yautja. They never pronounce it in the movies. They never do. Like when the movie Prey came out, that Hulu movie, that Hulu exclusive Predator movie from about a year ago. When I saw that, I'm just thinking, oh, please tell me they pronounce Yao Tia. So I finally know how you do it. They never do, and I'm just like, God damn it.
Just ask Google to pronounce it for you. That's what I do.
Yeah, because it kind of sounds like a Native American word.
Mm.
It looks like it to me. But yeah, but that's another video for another day. Yeah. But yeah, one day down the road we'll have to cover Predator, because even though it is mainly sci-fi action, it's about a monster, an alien that kills people. So I'm still counting it in.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
If it bleeds, we can do a podcast episode of it.
That's right.
It's got Arnold in it. So.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger and also Apollo Creed from the Rocky movies. Yeah, it's got a lot going for it. Let's see.
It was good to see him alive again. Yeah.
Yes. And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, there was this one character that I was a little lost with in Tremors. There was this teenage kid named Melvin. He was always bouncing that basketball, basically like playing pranks on people. Basically the kid who was always getting under everybody's skin on that movie. But the thing is, what is he doing there? Like, how is he related? How is he involved with all these people? Is he a relative of like Nancy and Mindy? Is he like this is never explained?
He should have been the earliest kill.
I'm trying to remember who he's related to.
Yeah, they made it seem like it at first, like when he was bouncing that basketball, but then when you bounce it again, the ball doesn't come back up, and they were kind of indicating that the graboid had it. Then it looked like they were pulling him under, but then he somehow got away from that and was like holding for dear life on top of a sign.
I kind of want to say like he lives there, but I don't know with who.
I don't know with who. Yeah, I don't know that either. Like, again, this is never explained. They never say who he's related to, who he lives with. Is he like an orphan kid that they're taking care of? I don't know.
I think so. I think that's more the case.
Yeah, just a kid that
Reba
lives
also
outside.
actress. Oh yeah.
Hey, get to the job.
She's on The Voice now.
What?
She's on The Voice.
I'm sorry, you broke her for a second.
Oh, she's a judge on The Voice. No.
I didn't hear.
She said she's a judge on The Voice.
Yeah.
I might be.
Yeah.
You know what? I think so. I think I've seen. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking about her because you were like breaking up a bit. But yeah, I think she was. I think I saw like advertisements on TV saying that she was on that. But yeah, she's made quite a career for herself, and also doing that show Reba that my parents loved watching.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the 90s, wasn't it? Or
90s into
early
the I think early 2000s. Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, she's come a long way from Tremors. I mean, I'm not saying that I disliked what she did in Tremors. It's just that she really made a huge career after that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
I mean, she was a singer prior.
Oh yeah,
to that for a long time. But
oh yeah, she was country. Yeah, all that. Yeah, she was great in that. She also performed the end credit song in this.
Really?
Yeah, she did.
Can't really remember the song.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm guessing some people in the music industry like saw this movie, then heard her singing voice in the end, and are like, "Oh yeah, we need to start a career with her." I don't know.
That could be.
But, oh yeah.
But so, you want a sitcom?
You want a sitcom? You want a country music career? Here, just sign here. But let's see. Yeah, like she was one of my all-time favorite scene in Tremors is when they DJ FNC brought it up with this line right here. Broken in the wrong rec room. Jill, is your mic okay?
Yeah, I just needed it so I can take my light out of its box.
Oh, I see.
My light.
I got you. But yeah, like I wanted to say, like my favorite scene in Tremors was definitely when one of the graboids broke into the basement of Bird and Heather's house, and then it's like the rest of the characters can hear their screams like over the radio, thinking, oh man, they got him, but no, it's Bird and Heather that got the graboid. They were shooting it, and then I just love when when they were moving towards the wall, the camera pans and shows a whole wall full of rifles, shotguns, pistols, revolvers, and
Elephant
all
guns.
sorts of elephant guns,
What a
a whole variety,
beautiful
whole variety of things. And I'm just like, they really are. I'm like, they really are prepared for World War III.
Yeah.
Yep, and then they figure out how to take them out, and then they're all excited on the radio. We know how to kill them.
They're just like, we killed it. We killed that mother upper. Oh, and that reminds me. I believe this movie was meant to be R-rated originally because I noticed several lines that were definitely, like replaced. Like their mouth didn't match certain words, let's say. But yeah, like I guess they thought that this movie would get more success if it was PG-13 than R.
No, they should restore the original version and re-release it.
That way we could hear all the cursing, right?
That's right.
Great idea.
Make it that much damn better.
Yeah, just like they did with this. Make a director's an unrated version.
I still haven't seen that either.
What?
Oh, I recommend it. I recommend it highly.
That's cool. It's cool.
It's a great one. Oh yes. Yeah, man. Nick is taking a sweet time getting on here.
Yeah, I was just thinking, has it been shortly yet?
Yeah.
He's just taking his time.
Oh man. But let's see. Yeah, some of like the deaths in this can be pretty shocking. You know, like and just come seemingly out of nowhere. Oh, here. Hey, Lauren. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, we're covering a childhood favorite of mine, a childhood favorite of all of us, Tremors.
I guess you could say I was a child. I was 15. I was still a child, I guess.
We're still children there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was born 2 years after this movie came out, but this was a childhood favorite of mine ever since I first got it from Blockbuster. Yeah, like my dad suggested, like, okay, what around here? Okay, what do you want to see? I'm like, let's see. I saw all the let's see what's around. I can't watch the R-rated movies yet, so Child's Play and Halloween are out of the question. And what's this? Tremors, PG-13. Okay, let's check this out. And I loved it ever since. Oh yeah. Hey Nick,
what's up, guys?
Oh wow, it's been shortly.
Yeah. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great.
Glad you can make it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're doing great. You know, we're talking about Tremors. Yeah, but I spent most of today getting my Halloween decorations set up.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay, can you show us?
Oh, you want to see?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is gonna be the first time ever showing you guys my condo. But okay, here.
I'm gonna put you on solo.
Okay, here.
Yay.
I may have to detach. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'll carry the wire with me.
Okay.
Set up these lights here that are let's see, that are orange, purple, and green. You know, the Halloween colors. Yeah. Let's see. Back there's my Chicago skyline painting. Over here is just a pillar right there and a pumpkin candle. There's my new electric bike I just got.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that to me the other day.
Yes. And let's see. Some of this stuff hanging there, and I love this right here. This poster of. Wait, can you guys hear me? I think I'm away from the mic.
I can
hear you.
Trick or treat.
Yep.
Trick or treat with Sam. Saying the rules: wear a costume,
Yes.
hand out food, never blow out a jack-o'-lantern, and always check your candy.
I love that one.
Yes.
You never know when you're gonna get razor blades and syringes.
Yeah, you never know. Get that. And of course, so let's see a few things hanging. There's a tree right there that with lights with
Oh yeah. Oh.
Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
And there's a ghoul, a skeleton, with a full candle, and showing me the clock. His hand is on the clock. And let's see. And also I bought these recently. These two.
Are those from Dollar Tree?
No, I bought those off of Amazon. And there's a painting back there, a jack-o'-lantern painting that you flip a switch and the jack-o'-lanterns light up.
That's cool.
Is there a way you can demonstrate that, or is it?
Well, it's on.
Oh, it is on.
It's on.
Okay.
Let me unplug. Hang on.
Oh, now he's muted.
Oh,
Yeah.
love it.
Oh, check it out.
Oh,
I like
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
it.
Frankenstein.
They're not proportionate in size though, because they're both the same size.
Yeah.
Oh, nice tablecloth.
That's cool.
Ooh.
Nice. Man, you got yourself.
You're ready.
Yeah, you're ready to go. You got yourself early.
Oh, wait, you're muted.
Yeah, when he unplugged his mic, it got
Oh,
muted. So he's got to plug back in.
Okay.
Okay.
And now we're back at the studio.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Now
Excellent.
you're back in.
Excellent.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten my stuff out just yet because I wasn't going to be getting my stuff out until October 1st. So
Why wait?
It's kind of Jaws the Revenge.
Not in a million years.
I knew he was going to bring that up.
As long as he doesn't bring up House of the Dead.
Oh, you should have said that, Don, because now he's probably going to say that.
Well, it's actually a good movie.
No, House of the Dead is my kryptonite. I hate House of the Dead, the movie. Love the games, love the arcade games, but then Uwe Boll had to mess it up.
It happens, though.
Yeah, no, that guy is Uwe Boll's a joke. But anyway, so yeah, I decided, I've it's about to be October. I got to get all my stuff out of decoration, decor, all that stuff out of storage. So I thought, why not?
What's up, DJ?
Hey, DJ.
I like
This
it.
is about as much as I decorate for any holiday. Really.
That's there for all. That's all
Yeah.
year round, though. That's a
Year
different
round,
story.
And I wear the same costume for Halloween that I've worn since 2020. I'm a YouTuber of a channel called This Is Tom's World. I actually went to a Halloween party dressed as that. Like I didn't have the hat or anything yet, but at the time I was using like a selfie stick instead of my gimbal. So I had that and my phone in it, and I just walked around. They said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm dressed in my costume. I'm a YouTuber."
And yelling out, of course, please subscribe to This Is Tom's World on
That's right.
YouTube.com/This Is Tom's World. No apostrophe.
Subscribe to This Is Tom's World. Subscribe to Nick's channel. Subscribe to Things Network. Subscribe
Wait
to
a
my
minute.
channel.
Wait, where's that banner
If you
that
don't-
I?
If you don't, wait. And if you don't, I'll send the graboids. Yeah, yeah. Graboid. Yep.
I got to change that number.
Because remember,
And the
yeah,
ass blasters.
yeah, and the ass blasters too. Think you want to go to higher ground? I'll send ass blasters to you as well.
There we go.
They'll bite you and they'll turn you into ass blasters, and
Yeah.
then all your farts will be flames.
Yeah, not exactly how that works.
Yeah.
And there's also always the shriekers. I can send those too.
Yeah. We can do that.
Raptors.
Oh man, but yeah, Nick, we were just discussing. What?
I have the movie playing in the background, so if I get distracted, that's why.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I got the digital copy of this movie. Like, I was just watching it last month on my TV, so it looks great. It looks amazing in 4K.
You do realize, by the way, that probably within another week or so, because with October just being right around the corner, that AMC's FearFest will probably be playing that film too, because I know that was one of their favorites that they often played. So I would guarantee within a week or so they're gonna, maybe 2 weeks, that they'll play Tremors on their FearFest. Which, speaking of which, I gotta figure out what movies they are showing on FearFest on AMC this year.
Oh yeah, and I was telling everybody, Nick, that the movie we're covering next week.
Yes.
Yes, we got to. The new
I'm
movie's
so
coming
weird.
out.
I'm like,
And yes, we've got to. The new one's coming out next week and 50th anniversary. So
That's right. And of course, not to mention that Tom and Jill, if you guys didn't know, I don't know if you guys have looked into this, but at least they're doing this at a few AMC theaters, but they're having a limited release of the original Exorcist for the 50th anniversary. I told you about it, Don.
Yeah.
We were going to go see it.
I remember.
They
That's
say
right.
if you've seen it before, they say it's a much different experience if you see it in the theater.
Your mother's so sucks in hell.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, that was no Saturday Night Live reference.
Oh,
What an
I want to see that episode.
Yeah. What an excellent day for an exorcism.
yeah.
You probably didn't think the same thing at the end of that day.
Yeah. So hopefully they have some, and they play this at the theaters. Hopefully they have smelling salts on standby.
I don't think it'll be as bad as it was the first time around. You know,
Because
they're a little more numb to things now.
Yeah. All those people passing out, like, come on, fainting.
Like they see worse things just on their streets.
Well, no, if you guys remember, I presented the real case and I showed like an actual clip of like Don. I showed it.
The interviews.
You did. Yes.
The interviews, yeah, and that was kind of shocking for what they captured some of those faintings on film.
Yeah, they did. I was
That's
very surprised.
crazy.
It is. It's insane. Man.
I mean, the movie scared me as a kid, but as an adult, it never would.
Yeah.
That still is creepy, regardless.
Oh yeah,
it affects people different ways.
Oh yeah, like Beetlejuice said, I've seen The Exorcist 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every time I see it.
Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy here.
So what do you think?
Think I'm qualified.
That never gets old.
No, we just simply meant, can you be scary? Oh, can I be scary?
Can't wait till the new one comes out. But
yeah.
So Nick, like as we all know, like Nick, we were just talking about how Tremors, like my favorite scene in that was where Bert and Heather are fighting off a graboid like in their basement, like going to their wall of guns, and I'm just like, these guys. I'm like, wow, these guys really are prepared for World War III.
They had so many guns and rifles. I mean, I'm sure probably some of those guns that they had were probably extremely illegal, but they must have had. That probably also meant that they had probably a dozen licenses to keep that many guns.
At least. Yeah. Well, it also could be, I mean, either Bert or Heather could also be former military, retired military. So that could have played a part in how they could access all those guns. I don't know.
I was also going to say, and I say this for a few other things, which is the fact that they had so many guns was already telling me that having like 200 of them and shooting with them probably tells me that this isn't even the worst thing that they've shot at so far. Who knows what they used those guns for before?
Yeah, I mean, they're survivalists. I mean, the thing is, they're survivalists and they're gun enthusiasts. So, yeah. What is this?
This is did you see this in the chat? This is about Lauren's sister-in-law.
I think somebody brought up something important up in the chat, but I didn't get a chance to go on there today.
Yeah, but, her sister-in-law is diagnosed with something called Moya disease, which I know, of course, that's unfamiliar. I'm trying to look for the message that I wrote. What that basically is? Yeah, here it is. It's a rare progressive cerebrovascular disorder caused by blocked arteries at the base of the brain in an area called the basal ganglia, I guess they call it. And the actual term itself, it means puff of smoke in Japanese. It's used to describe the tangled appearance of tiny vessels compensating for the blockage. So it's a rare, and I looked it up. It can be fatal. So I've been spreading this to all the networks. I posted about it on my page because her sister-in-law, especially she could definitely need all the prayers and help that she can get to really fight this. So
for sure,
it's been kind of scary for it. So I did this on behalf of Lauren. She requested me to spread the word out about this. So I've still been praying a lot.
Oh man. Well, I'm hoping she pulls through.
Yeah,
I hope so too. I heard it's not really. Unfortunately, it is also one of those diseases that it can be difficult to fight. I mean, unfortunately, like some of these other diseases, there's no true cure for it, but there is treatments. So that's why they're giving them medication. So hopefully break it up hopefully it will have some effect on it. But in the case, because after what I did on my research, if there's this treatment, in that case, her sister-in-law would probably have to take something for the rest of her life.
My God.
So there again, because like I said, as of 2023, there's no cure for Moya disease.
Wow.
And she also makes a good point here too. She didn't have the stroke. She did over the weekend. The doctors never would have found that she has the disease. So she probably would have. She probably would have died. No joke.
Wow.
Jesus.
Mm.
Oh my God.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our thoughts are with you, Lauren, and her sister and your sister-in-law.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So you were saying, Don, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we were saying how like the graboids, the way they hunt is just insane. Like if they can detect anything going on that's like on the ground surface or like even just sound, even talking is what it does. Even a footstep is enough to make them go at you. I mean, talking, like the sound of a car, any sound, anything. And if somebody's like got a shovel and is like digging in the ground, they'll hear that.
Man, imagine if they had cell phones.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Tom?
So imagine if they had cell phones. Everybody turn off vibrate.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean that's like the slightest vibration will get these creatures' attention.
Or just throw the phone while it's ringing, and then they'll go after it. I mean, there were times where the characters actually had to get creative in order to draw these graboids away from them, like using RC cars or using like there actually was one scene where in Tremors 3 where Mindy the same actress, reprising a role, Ariana Richards, like where she like had like a radio playing like loud rock music playing over like a phone, and then on the other end of that phone, like Birch throws his phone playing that music, distracting a graboid. So yeah, like there are times where you can outsmart them, but the graboids they're intelligent. They learn quickly. They'll try to like sabotage any attempt you have at trying to escape. Lure you towards a rock and try to wait you out.
They should have developed the ability to like camouflage themselves as a rock.
Oh yeah, well they
just wait it out.
Do have.
Just wait it out, and like, look, they're gonna come on me eventually.
Oh yeah, I mean, they introduced in the beginning of the movie like one of the first victims. I believe his name was Edgar. They found his body at the top of an electrical tower. Like they were speculating like why he died of hydration up there. Like if he like sat up there for days, and like, oh, did somebody chase him up there? And if someone did, why didn't he shoot them because he had a Winchester rifle on him? And when you learn more about what's going on, the more it makes. It's like it makes you like, yeah, that's what I love about this movie. How it makes you wonder what's going on. Like what's causing all this. And the more you watch, the more it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's like the graboids wait. The graboids can trap someone on a rock and then wait them out until they die from starvation or until they make a break, go on the ground again.
Too bad they couldn't make a sound to fight it like how they did in Quiet Place when they figure it out.
Yeah,
the eardrum thing.
That's definitely good thinking. It's weird. I didn't even think of that movie up until you brought it up, and I see some similarity between them. The only difference is that in Tremors they rely on actually no, there's really not much. The one thing that shows both of these movies the similarities that both creatures can detect vibrations. The only difference in this case is that the graboids can't see, but they can also not only feel but hear stuff, while the creatures in Quiet Place, they can see and hear at the same time. So it makes it easy. Oh no, not see, but just similarities between them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, they both the graboids and the aliens from A Quiet Place, they both have similarities as far as how they hunt. They hunt by sound. That like ultra sensitive hearing. They're completely blind, and
and because they started off as underground dwelling things, and most of the stuff underground, if they have eyes at all, they can't really see all that well because they don't use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they've been adapted, if they've been adapted underground for many years, they eventually do go blind. They have to rely on other senses to hunt.
Yep.
Yes, that's true. Just like the monsters in what was it? The Descent.
The Descent. I knew you were going to say that. The Descent.
Oh yeah, another great one. Let's see.
So I have a question. Were they like underground all this time, but they're just waking up?
Yeah, there are times where like they explained in the series that when the graboids have eggs, the eggs can lay dormant for long periods of time, years, for decades. So
it's like they're in suspended. They're like in suspended animation in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yeah, because they did explain that in the fourth movie. Like when they dug them up and disturbed like a nest that had those things, and then when those eggs hatched, they started wreaking havoc, and so it's just crazy how they had a prequel that dates back to their early, like the late 1800s.
Yeah, it was like 1889.
Yeah, 1889, I think it was, or 88, somewhere in the late 1880s,
somewhere around that. Yeah, I just like how Michael Grosser like doesn't reprise his role, but plays like the an ancestor of Burt Gummer,
like great grandfather or something like that. Because it takes place 100 years before.
And he didn't know how to fire a gun or anything like that, if I remember right.
That's right. That's the irony. He had no experience with guns. I loved that.
That's funny.
Oh yeah. But that, and also had Walter Chang's ancestors. There was like a Chinese family called the Changs.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and they were and the town wasn't even called Perfection. It was called Rejection at first.
Rejection.
No way.
And I'm just like, wow.
I actually now gonna have to Google search it. There's actually like a town by that name.
Hey, there's crazier things. We have some crazy town names here in PA. I can tell you that.
I know that. I remember you talked about it on the show a long time ago. Including, well, I won't mention it, but I can tell you it's in Austria, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, here it's a little more tame. It's intercourse, bird in hand, they're real places in Pennsylvania, I swear to God.
Yeah.
And then right across the bridge in Jersey, there's Buttsville.
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 I know about that.
It's true though. I'm not making it up. There's a cool hot dog place there called Hot Dog Johnny's. It's really cool.
It's probably someone's last name.
You know what? There is. It's funny because there is a town that goes like people. There's another town. I think it's actually a rural town. It's like in the Oklahoma Panhandle. It's actually called Hooker, Oklahoma, and people like look at it as perverted, but the name Hooker was actually named after somebody's last name.
Can you imagine having that as a last name?
Pirate Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just made that whole conversation G-rated. What a twist.
What a twist. Nice. And Nick, I just love like the steady build up. Like they don't show the monsters right away, like the graboids right away. Not even on the poster. On the poster, they just showed like a giant version of like the graboid tongues.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually a smart thing. Like that, they're kind of, even though this was the early 90s, they were still kind of going by their old-fashioned ways, which was not revealing what they actually looked like until they got about halfway into the movie. And that's a smart thing. It's
have a draw.
very, very Jaws-like in a way.
That's right. Yeah, like they showed like it just like gradually slowly builds up to the point where like reveals little by little about what these creatures are. Like it showed like when like it started off with just that college. I was mentioning this earlier. That college girl Rhonda, who was like getting back in her truck, and like there's something's following her POV shot, and you see like this hump moving through the ground, like something's right beneath there. And she gets in her car just in time to avoid that. And I'm just like, wait, hold on. And Nick, I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, well, either something highly ominous, or maybe it's just something completely innocent. Because that hump moving across the ground, it could be just a certain someone who just didn't make that left turn in Albuquerque.
Or it could be bugs.
Could be. It was Bugs Bunny all along.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man! But then
Well,
it shows,
Wile E.
like,
Coyote traveled that way
Yep.
too in a couple
Yeah.
episodes.
yeah, and we were
Mhm.
talking about how this movie partially inspired an episode of SpongeBob, the Alaskan bullworm.
Yep. Did you ever hear? I don't know if you already talked about this on the show already, Don. Did you ever know where the graboids were the inspiration from? Did you say what they were based off of?
From what I've heard, that the writer S.S. Wilson, he was came up with the idea to write Tremors after he was resting on a rock after doing some work at a California desert, and decided, what if there was like something that was underneath the ground that prevented me from getting off this rock, and that's what led him to write Tremors.
Well, it's not only that. The graboids, considering, and I think it's worth bringing this up. I'm actually going to be talking about eventually on an episode of my show soon. The graboids are actually based on a real life cryptid, which, if you guys have never heard of, it's called the Mongolian death worm.
Oh,
yeah.
I actually have, I'm going to share the screen real quick. I actually have kind of like a painting image of what this giant worm is actually is said to look like. So this is the death worm, and it's said to be a cryptid that's, a large creature that is alleged to exist in the Gobi Desert, although, however, no evidence has been found to support this belief. Now, according to the description, they say it is shaped like a sausage, about 2 to 5 feet long, has no head nor leg, and it is so poisonous that merely to touch it means instant death.
My
It
God.
lives in the most desolate parts of the Gobi Desert. The worm is said to inhabit the western or southern Gobi. In the 1987, I can't read this, read it because it's a different language, but Ivan Mackerel cites a Mongolian legend which described the creatures traveling underground, creating waves of sand on the surface, which allow it to be detected. It is said it can kill at a distance, either by spraying a venom at its prey or by means of electrical discharge. It primarily lives in burrows underground, only rarely coming to the surface. So that's basically
Look at all those tabs he has.
Yeah,
I know. I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
you know the rule basically. But the other piece of information I found on the death worm is, and believe it or not, Don, in addition to Tremors, there's been a movie itself on the Mongolian death worm, and also an episode, if you remember, of Lost Tapes, which is the death worm episode.
Oh, I remember when that show was on. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm actually reading some of the information from the show. So it says, Tales of the Mongolian death worm describe its size as supernaturally large. However, there is a precedent for worms even larger than the death worms reported 2 to 5 feet. So in Australia, for example, the giant Gippsland earthworm grows to an average of 6.5 to 10 feet. The longest recorded was 13 feet.
Wow.
And then, of course, it says here, perhaps in the same manner that some cobras spray their venom to stun prey. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just kind of scrolling through. The legendary Mongolian death worm could attack by spewing out potent acid-like yellow saliva. This saliva is said to corrode its victim's flesh, leading to death. Or maybe, like some spiders, the fabled death worm uses this acid to liquefy its victim's internal organs, which makes it easier for it to devour. So if this creature does in fact exist, it's certainly something that you do not want to mess with.
Nope. So treat them like they're graboids. Don't mess with them and stay off the ground.
Well, and I think this is even worse than the graboids, because this thing has true abilities. I'm trying to find that's where I can't find it for some reason, but there was something about the electrical discharge though that it emits
It
when
gives
it
off
attacks victims.
It gives off electricity.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. Where the hell is it? I just had it a few seconds. Oh wait,
like an eel.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
close your
very
tabs.
much
Maybe you'll
like
find it.
Neil. I actually I think I just found it.
Hey, maybe Clovis over your tabs. You got too many tabs. You can't. Keep
No,
track.
I'm looking through my phone in this case because it would have taken me a while for me to
All of
scroll
a sudden,
through
he
that.
gets a blue screen. You know.
Yeah, it says here the Mongolian death worm is rumored to be able to kill from a distance with an electric charge powerful enough to kill a camel. And like you said, Jill, I mean, for example, electric eels are able to emit a charge of up to 650 volts. So this shot can seriously injure or even kill a human. So it has a lot of similarities. But that's basically what the Mongolian death worm is. That's where they base part of the graboids on. There was even a book by Roy Chapman Andrews from 1926 that talks about where he interviewed locals from Mongolia that even though he's never found sightings, the locals in Mongolia believe that it does truly exist. So that's where Tremors came from. It's a shocking personality.
Like static,
Yeah.
it puts a shock to your system. You remember that show, Nick?
Yeah. In a way, yes.
Yeah, Static Shock. I remember that. Oh, I'm getting nostalgia now. Oh man, but yeah. So yeah, this is like one of like Kevin Bacon. This is like one of his all-time favorite movies that he's worked on. I mean, he expressed like some, you know, like he did not want to work on this movie when he was selected for it because, you know, I mean, he took it in the first place because he just got married and there's a kid on the way, so he had to make more money. But yeah, but when he worked on this film, he ended up really enjoying it, and he said he always wanted to reprise the role again, which we discussed earlier, Nick, that they always wanted to, that he almost got a chance to reprise it. They released a trailer for an upcoming movie or series, where like a Tremors reboot, like almost 30 years after the first one. But
I thought they were going to do that at some point. Yeah.
Yes, but all they did was release the trailer and nothing further. The project's pretty much dead.
So it's
if he ever does it, he has to grow his hair out and get that straw hat again.
Here, run for it. Running's not playing. Running's when you do it, playing fails. Yeah. Like, yeah, Fred Ward. Yeah, God rest his soul.
I still can't believe he's gone.
Yeah, I'm sad about that. When was that? It was like a year or so ago.
Yeah, at least a year that he passed away.
Man. Yeah, because like I just wish Kevin Bacon could have also got another chance to play Val. I mean, he couldn't appear in the second. Yeah, I mean, he couldn't appear in the second film because he had scheduling conflicts. Same thing with Reba McEntire. Like she couldn't come back as Heather.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and I just remember. Let's see. So there's a total of 6 sequels now with Shrieker Island. And let's see. I remember the short-lived TV series back in 2003 that was on Sci-Fi Channel. It had what I loved about it is some of the episodes had Christopher Lloyd in it.
Oh, really? Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, he plays a scientist that tries to help them stop these mutations.
Oh, so he's the doc in that. Let's just face it. He's the doc.
Imagine that. He's a scientist.
Yeah.
That's a big jump from Jimmy Gutowski on Taxi, I'll tell you.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's amazing to have like a national treasure like him on that show.
See, now you guys probably don't remember the TV show The Electric Company.
Hey, you guys!
I might remember it.
Yeah,
we're gonna bring it on.
I know of that show.
I know of it, but yeah, I didn't. Yeah. She's still going with these jokes about shocking. All of them had shocking personalities.
The shocker.
It's electric. Yep, it's electric.
That's a good song.
Oh man.
But of course, I remember the Electric Company. That Morgan Freeman was on that.
He was?
Yeah, and I think was Bill Cosby. I think Bill Cosby might have been on that at one point.
Yeah. Pre-scandalous Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah. Back when you could sit down with him and have a pudding pop.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. But,
he can tell you to have a Coke and a smile.
Yeah. So Nick, when did you first see Tremors?
Oh man, I didn't you show it to me one time? Remind me.
Oh wait, you know what? Actually, scratch that. I introduced you to it a few.
You introduced it to me. However, before that, and it had to have been several years ago. I know I did watch at least the second half of it when it was on FearFest. So I never, I know until you showed it to me, I never really saw the full movie. So,
you're welcome.
Yeah, yeah, thanks.
But yeah, like I first saw it when I was about 8 years old. So it's just like, let's see. I watched all the Abbott and Costello monster movies, so I'm gonna move on to something else. So this is a blockbuster. Yeah, my dad took me every week. Let's see. I'm too young to see the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Let's see.
What?
Let's see. Tremors.
Tremors was rated R.
Tremors wasn't rated R.
What?
I thought it was rated R.
No, it's not. It's PG-13.
Oh, I guess I must have missed that.
Right. They originally were gonna have it rated R, but they decided we're gonna get more success if it's PG-13. So that's what they got. Won't. But surprisingly, it didn't do so well in theaters. In fact, like it wasn't as appreciated at first until it was released on TV, and then everybody loved Kevin Bacon's performance, and now the movie's got an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. But a lot of movies that are really good, they when they come out, their box office sucks. But
that's how they usually start.
And there's several examples of this. John Carpenter's The Thing. It was a box office bomb, but I still consider it the best horror remake of all time. Let's see, several
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That too.
When that first came out, Well, yeah, I can talk. When that first came out, it literally bombed. But nobody liked it. Nobody wanted to see it. And then somehow, some way, they showed it like a few years later in a theater or something, and then people started doing what they do now, like talking back to the screen and all that, and throwing toilet paper.
Oh yeah, and
man,
I'll be honest with you. I'll just say this real quick. Unfortunately, I happened to be a bear witness on that 10 years ago. That was
it's a fun experience.
It was more than what I was expecting. It was
just don't sit in the back row.
Oh, thank
That's
God
where they throw everything.
I was sitting in the front.
Yeah, there you go. That's where you gotta be.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna say this. Long story short, I thought we were just gonna go see it like in the theater, and that would be it. Boy, was I sure in for a hell of a surprise. That was nothing like that at all. And they also put a V from lipstick on the left side of my face
because you were a virgin.
Yeah, I was.
Yes.
So they put it up. I think I still got that picture somewhere on Facebook. So yeah, they put that on my face, and I was like, to me, even though I was with and Dodd, these were your friends too. I think you were unavailable that night. I don't think
you might have been.
Yeah, well, even though that these were our friends that we had at the time, the fact that they were doing this and they were yelling all this explicit stuff up at the screen. It was probably just like the most uncomfortable feeling for me in the universe. I really wanted to get the hell out of there, honestly. I did not like the theme to this.
I knew what I was in store for, and I look forward to it.
Oh man, and the fact that Rocky Horror Picture Show was hated at first, it's like, come on, how dare you guys hate on a Tim Curry classic?
Exactly, anything Tim Curry.
Yeah.
The only thing I could remember that I think I even enjoyed from that experience was, like how they have cast members kind of lip syncing, like in front of the theater while the movie's playing. The only thing that I liked about it was the person that played the narrator, if you will. What it was,
Charles Gray.
Yeah, what it was in this case, it was actually a woman, but she was dressed up as Homer Simpson. She had a Homer mask on. Everybody was kind of going around. That was the only thing that I thought was funny.
I would like, if I may.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, look. Hey, Nick, look.
See, the first time I saw Tremors was out when I was a child, and my mother was yelling at my brother for something he did. He had the Tremors.
Oh my God! it's like when you look at this movie, when you hear the word Tremors, you think of like an earthquake or something. But earthquake, it's like you'll wish it was an earthquake because because it's something much worse.
Lauren.
I'm sorry, I had to show this.
Okay. Like it's like when I first saw this movie, I was like, oh, so this is where that episode from SpongeBob came from, because I remember that when SpongeBob said, "That's not the worm, that's its tongue."
Yeah.
Yeah,
The fact that you had already seen the SpongeBob before you saw that shows.
I was watching SpongeBob when I was 6, so
Oh.
yeah,
that was allowed.
Yeah,
but that just shows the different timelines. You know?
it was. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't believe SpongeBob is still going on to this day. It's now one of the longest running kid shows of all time.
Almost 25 years now.
Oh my god.
Well, wait, wouldn't
I
Sesame
love
Street do that?
SpongeBob.
Sesame Street still runs. And
Yeah,
that started in like
almost
'69.
Some variant
No,
of Sesame Street.
68.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, like it's funny how it's crazy how a kid show would adapt something like that from a PG-13 monster movie.
They should do that on Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Have Freddy Krueger on. Yeah.
Well, there was one time that no, wait, no, I'm thinking of a different film. Never mind.
The letter S is for slash.
The letter B is for balloon, and I got one for you.
And then they just pan over, and there's Michael Myers.
Excuse me.
Awesome.
B for balloon.
Yeah, start of the year. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it was 69 then.
Yep.
Start of the year Lauren was born.
Yes. The balloons, they all float, and you'll float too.
They all float.
Oh, man.
I got nothing.
It's okay. But yeah, so it's like at the part where they're where they're all on top of the roofs. It's like the graboids are like trying to get them down onto the ground by like tearing apart some of the build. Well, not tearing apart, but like shaking the buildings, trying to loosen them to go down. And it's like, and then they get away inside this. It's inside this what's basically like moves like a tank. It's like this. What was it? The cat, like that construction vehicle. Yeah,
like the cat. Not bulldozer.
Bulldozer.
It's like a bulldozer of some sort.
Well, it is like a bulldozer, yes. And it was dragging like this trailer, this flatbed trailer that to get everybody in. It's like it works at first, but then the graboids dug a hidden trap, like a ditch that's covered. The cat runs that over, and they're stuck again.
When you said "and the graboids," and there was like a slight pause, and you said "Doug," I thought you were going to start naming them, like the graboids, Doug and Joe, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know they had names.
As far as I know, the graboids didn't have names, with the exception of one, which Val and Earl named, called Stumpy. It was the one that had a missing tongue that their truck had ripped off, like earlier on in the film, when they were like trying to drive away, and like they thought they were hung up on something, and then just drove off. And then when they got into town, they found like one of the graboid tongues. They didn't know what it was at the time, just tangled inside of an axle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with Stumpy from Rio Bravo. That was Walter Brennan, and that was a lot earlier in time. Yeah.
And then they found out. Then they saw one of the graboids later had a missing tongue, tentacle, whatever. And they were like, "That must be the one that grabbed our truck." And then from that point on, they named it Stumpy.
Sorry, they did a Walter Brennan thing again.
Yeah, Stumpy was like the main graboid, the final graboid that was killed, because this one was like the most intelligent, like hiding inside the ground, like making it look like it had gone, but then it was just waiting for them to move while they were on the ground, make a run for it. So they ran towards the cliff, had one of the pipe bombs that Bert had crafted, and pretty sure it's illegal to make those.
Yeah, I was going to say that's another thing that looks extremely illegal to make.
It's like the wall of guns was one thing, but pipe bombs, oh my god.
Well, I think in a situation like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, in this scenario, yes, but typically,
homemade pipe bombs like you make on your own, that's very, very illegal.
Actually, all you need is some PVC and some.
I usually would say it's illegal in this country, but actually, I think it's just about illegal everywhere, as far as I know.
Yep. So, Yeah, don't build those unless you want Homeland Security knocking on your door.
Well, don't forget, I told you about that friend of mine. Well, former friend of mine. He made a few of those.
Probably
He got
not.
arrested
Probably
for it.
not the kind of topic you want to bring up.
Well, I've already talked about on other shows, but I don't get very many details. But
Okay.
no, I'm just saying he learned the hard way for that.
Yes.
His name was. He lives at.
It's at beep.
I wish I still had.
I'll tell you.
I thought they would lost connection for real. Yeah, let's see. His name was.
Oh my God! You gotta take yourself out.
When you did that, why did Jeremy's picture come up?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Because it's
I don't know.
It's under Jeremy's street.
Okay. I was like, whoa.
That makes sense. Okay. But they throw like the pipe bomb on the ground right behind the graboid, like because that's the thing. Pipe bombs were basically the graboid's kryptonite because that explosion's so loud it hurts them. They go scattering in another direction. But they managed to scare this one to trick it into going through a cliff, plummeting down onto the sharp rocks below. Oh, and by the way, when the graboids die or when they're like blown up or impaled on something or whatever, they release this orange kind of blood. It is goopy guts. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Fluid or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of, again, that kind of does remind me when you think about it. Like I said, I mean, not necessarily entirely. I kind of actually figure a thing. I wonder if they got that color idea from, again, the Mongolian death worm, since it spews out a yellow acid. It's saliva that acts like acid. The only difference is it's not acidic in the movies.
No, that's fine. I don't believe so.
Or maybe they ordered red blood and like orange came and they went
orange.
Screw it.
Yeah,
maybe. So 5 minutes left. So we got 5 minutes left. We got to wrap this up. Let's see. So I just like the ending. How Val, Kevin Bacon and that character Rhonda, what was her name? Finn Carter. How they just ended that by officially, by just making their relationship official. It's like, despite the age difference, I'm pretty sure Kevin Bacon's character was at least 10 years older than that college student.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Really?
At least.
Yeah, I mean, they said she was in college, but it also could be possible that she was an older student, like a grad student. So
I think he does, Jeremy.
No, see, okay, so the reason why I'm like using a book to cool myself off, if you guys didn't know about this, I mean, Don knows, but a few days ago, last few days, I mean, I'm getting better now, but I was actually sick. I had myself tested to make sure it wasn't COVID, which did come out negative, but it was still a cold. So I was feeling miserable. And although for the most part it's gone now, I mean, I don't know if you guys could tell a different sound. My face is still a little bit stuffed up, but one of the things I hate about colds more than anything else is that when they heat you up and you're sweating for like no reason. So
it's not hot flashes then?
No.
Well, that's me.
It's just one of the last symptoms, and even though most of the symptoms are gone, I still have this heating that's going on. I mean, I'm in the basement right now, which is cooler than the rest of the house, and I'm still heating up. So that's why I'm trying to keep myself cool. It sucks. And yes, I would have to agree with you on that, Jeremy. No comment on that.
If you drink like a smoothie or make your own shake, that keeps you cool.
Ice cream.
It's funny you guys brought that up because on one of the worst days I had the sickness, which surprisingly I was able to still go to work. So this was one of the few times I was still able to go to work and not call off. But later in the evening when I was recuperating, my mom texted me and asked me while I was burning up, saying, "Would you care going to get a pumpkin shake at Culver's?" I was like, yes. So I kind of did that.
Okay.
But if you're going through congestion, maybe more of an ice thing instead of a cream-based thing.
Yeah,
because the
I've been drinking a lot of water with ice in it.
Right.
You could do the fruit ones with water.
Yeah, that's right. So Nick, I hate to do this, but we got 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so
Tremors. It's somewhat cheesy. Has some good humor to it. Good practical effects. Great cast. So of course I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend it to anybody who likes a good monster movie because as far as 90s monster flicks go, this is one of the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Tom's World.
Yep, Tom's World. Subscribe to Tom's
Can you
World.
imagine? Can you
Right.
imagine if you encountered one of those on one of your episodes of This Is Tom's World? What the hell is that? This has been great running. Definitely.
I know what's going on here. I got to find a rock.
So let me make a brief announcement about my channel. Just finished up yesterday. Just finished up Uncharted 2 Among Thieves on the live stream, and so Thursday I'm going to start the new live stream on the Resident Evil 4 remakes new DLC story called Separate Ways. Yeah, so I think that's going to be like 2 videos, and then finally when October hits, I start the live stream series on The Last of Us. Cannot wait.
When do you start playing DuckTales from the Super NES?
I don't know how to live stream off of an NES, and I don't have an NES. So
emulator on your computer.
Actually, there's an emulator on the Switch that I have, but I don't think it has that game.
Oh, damn! I love that game.
You sound really disappointed.
I love that game. It was fun.
Yeah, so that's what I got for you guys, and let's see. I'll be also releasing some new reaction videos real soon. I've been getting quite a few requests. I'm reading your comments, so keep the comments coming. So Nick, you have anything to say?
Yeah. So as far as the shows this week, I was just kind of putting it together myself. So for starters, Nick Files will be on tomorrow. We'll be focusing on another cryptid once again down at in. What are you doing? I was wondering what you were doing with your...
You're my puppet.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to reach.
What the hell are you guys doing?
I'm trying to reach over towards you.
Okay then. Well, thank you very much.
I'm trying to make my arm appear on the other side, right there.
Just try to relax.
Oh my God.
God. What am I going to do with you guys?
Oh Jesus. Oh my God.
So
relax. I be a doctor.
Wow, you're seriously going there.
Yeah, well, Family Guy, why not?
Yeah,
oh my God.
I no comment on that. But anyways, with Nick Files tomorrow, we'll be back on that tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about another known cryptid in Illinois, southern Illinois, actually known as the Big Muddy Monster, or Murfreesboro Mud Monster. Put it this way, it's basically southern Illinois' version of Bigfoot. Real interesting story. It kind of almost picks up from what I was talking about last week with the Enfield horror, because it actually occurred like 2 months after the event, so it's like a continuation of it. As far as To the Grave and Back and the Frighteners, I don't know if Lo said that we were going to do a show or not, either show this week. I'm going to have to check with her on that. And then Supernatural Talk, it was going to be an open mic chat, but I think we're going to be having Kate back on because there's just so much to talk about with Kate. I mean, she's just amazing. So it'll be awesome to chat with her again. And finally, I thought I'd show this to you guys since I didn't have that many announcements. I did this on Supernatural Talk. I thought I'd do the same for FearFans. If you guys didn't know, just a few days ago, I just released my latest audiobook collection for the book At the Cemetery Gates Year 1. That is now officially available on YouTube. All the stories are all free. I was able to release them just in time for Halloween. The Halloween season. I know I got yet another audiobook that I'm working on right now, which is Nightmare Soup 3 Midnight Snack. But in the meantime, you guys can check these stories out. So they're all available on YouTube, and you guys can check them out for yourself. So definitely would. And they will be eventually broadcasting on this network. So
awesome.
It's part of a series that I'm trying to put together, a seasonal series, not just for Things Network, but for a few other paranormal networks. I just don't have a date yet, but it will be coming soon, though. It's going to be called Scary Stories presented in the dark.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. Anything for us, Tom?
Me? No. This is Tom's World. YouTube.
You just subscribe to This is Tom's World.
Yeah.
Okay.
Logo looks like this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Branding.
Also, because since you brought it up, I think it's important that I show this at the end.
Wow. It's actually been 4, but yeah.
Okay, fine, 4.
Okay. All right. So that'll be it for this week's FearFans podcast. Please join us next week when we cover The Exorcist. We are all very excited for it. To cover a classic like that on its 50th anniversary with a new one coming out. Oh, stoked. Super stoked.
I'm sure there's probably going to be a couple more of us coming on for that one, too. I would not be surprised.
Yes, I would think.
Yes, bring them. Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, let's do it. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week on the FearFans podcast. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care.